uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
Perfect. Target practice.
Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite? Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet?
I've never seen a sword like it.
You can't stop us. Not quite. Pity. Not quite. That was meant for me.
Now, to find out what happened here. Mr. Oakes's trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him.
Revelio. Arrest the woman.
This looks intriguing.
Revelio.
Mr. Oakes's trade journal.
Revelio.
A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. I know what that means. Merlin trial.
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio. Reparo. That's that. Settled.
Perhaps I'll scout around Felcroft for something to poach.
A crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here.
Revelio.
And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here.
Confringo. Revelio.
This place has seen better days.
Go and patrol. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Confringo.
do we have here?
Revelio. Perhaps.
Quiet. Hit it!
I may have more luck higher up in the keep.
Little welcome. Far from home, eh?
A ladder. That's what I need.
Those goblins were in the mines at one time or other.
Revelio.
Any who oppose Ranrock will be eliminated.
Revelio. Revelio.
This looks like trouble.
Ranrock's vision of goblins ruling over wizards will be fulfilled.
Revelio.
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me.
You can't. One less human to worry about.
Stupid lucky. Revelio.
Stone walls do a prison make, sometimes.
We're close to a breakthrough.
What will we find in here?
Revelio.
Make to us once the war is over.
It's punishment to us all, however, miserable
human around.
Wait a moment. Someone.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
Alohomora. Revelio.
Oh, this day has gone on too long.
Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
Doing this sort of thing.
A human's word is worthless. This prisoner knows us the metal we will not. No witch or wizard will be spared.
Mushroom stew.
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that.
A boiler door. How to open it?
Tell us.
could be used for better things than this so-called patrol. What was that? I feel as though I'm not patrol. Someone there?
What's down there?
I say let him rot in the cage. He'll soon regret. Quiet as a grapple, you are.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
I need to find Mr. Oakes' wand. Where could it be? This door must need power from something.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
Who's that? I'll bury you in the deepest vault. Get away! You're making this too easy. I won't rest.
You've one less follower, Ranrock. Revelio. Revelio.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Revelio.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please. My wand. Oh, thank you, Merlin. Thank you.
You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oaks. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblin stole every canut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oaks. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oaks. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oaks was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Revelio. Revelio.
meals I've ever eaten.
Chores aren't so bad. I don't mind the odd one without...
You're back. Nice to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Glad you came.
Hello, Serena. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. In fact, we're working together to try and rein in Ranrock.
Are you? I suspected you and he would get along. Perhaps best I don't know details of your plans. And I shall refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something.
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend, Claire Beaumont.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot...
Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Revelio.
Hogwarts is very lucky.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Marvelous strike! I'm going to recorrect patrol duty.
Horklumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona. Better have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters. Ah, that's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
Incendio! Confringo! Revelio!
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Confringo! Arrestio momentum. Sendo! Levioso! Revelio! Confringo! Glacier! Endo! Sendo! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Confringo!
One less foul-hawking brute. Revelio.
Incendio!
Lumos.
Revelio.
This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
Revelio.
You've made Upper Hogsfield safer, and for that, I thank you. Thank you for passing through.
Alohomora. Alohomora.
Mine now, demiguise.
Revelio. Revelio.
here. Revelio. Incendio!
Wonder who lives here.
Revelio.
Lumos.
Revelio.
Revelio.
I'll say it again. Can't thank you enough for...
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Horklumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.